Hey, how you doing? My name is Aaron Martin. I'm a follower of Christ. I'm a husband to my beautiful wife Hannah. I have two amazing kids, James, who's 4, 8 is 2, and then in about 2 weeks, or really any day now, we're going to have another little baby girl. I'm really excited about that. Really appreciate Zach reaching out, asking me to share my story. Um, I've always been one to think my story is not really that crazy or that cool or worthy of sharing. But Zach's making me, so I'm doing it, I guess. But no, I really appreciate Zach. I appreciate all he does, the friend he is to me, and giving me the opportunity to do this. I was, you know, I was raised in a Christian home. I was very fortunate. I had a great family growing up, a really devoted mom and dad. Had a little sister, and just really a happy home. I have really only good memories. I'm sure there's some bad ones that I could conjure up, but really just good memories in childhood, and always grew up in the church. From early on, I'd say I knew Jesus, I accepted him, but really looking back now as I'm getting a little older, a few more gray hairs, and I can see that I knew him because my family knew him, and because my parents knew Christ, but I didn't really own it. And even through growing up in high school, and even into college, and even into young adulthood, I was more concerned with how I looked. I was more concerned with the outside appearance, and looking like a good man, a good kid, a good Christian. More concerned with that than truly having any sort of heart change. And I always think, like, cleaning my room, or even cleaning now, to be honest, my wife can tell you, I'm more about what it looks like than if it's actually clean. So like as a kid, shove everything under the bed in the closet, but then when you walk in the room, it looks spotless, and you're like, wow, this room's clean. Even now, I don't get away with it, but trying to just pick up. I'm really good at picking up, making everything look in order, but not taking care of maybe what's underneath or what's inside the closet. And really, that would describe my life perfectly. I wanted to look really good. I wanted to say the right things. I wanted to do the right things. But in private, or even in my mind or my heart, I wasn't living what I was portraying. I wasn't having any heart change. I think of a big verse as I've gotten older that I keep going back to is in Ezekiel 36, talking about changing your heart from stone to flesh. And my heart was stony. It wasn't changed. I didn't have any transformation in the inside. I might have said the right things. I might have looked like I was doing the right things, but in reality, I wasn't. I kind of was very achievement oriented and outcome oriented, and felt like I had to earn everything. And I felt that way with God. And sometimes I still fall in that trap where I feel like I'm a sinner, trying to earn grace and trying to be worthy of the death of Jesus, and what he did on the cross, his death and resurrection, and be worthy of that. And the fact is, I never will be. I'm never going to be. That's the point of grace, and the mercy of him not to take care of me, or not to punish me how I should have been, but to give me the grace of his death and resurrection and access to his Father. Just really wasn't living in that way. And it took, like I said, went through high school, and then got into college, and went to Indiana Wesleyan with Zach, and that's where I met Zach for the first time. And we had some really good coaches there who introduced for the first time, like, what it means to, be accountable to someone, to be in a group of men who are going to hold you up, and who are going to call you out when you're being dumb. And that was really my first taste of that. My first taste of having any sort of other man in my life that, obviously my father was a huge support system, but he was my father, so I wasn't necessarily telling him everything. But to have somebody who I could just talk to about anything and everything. And I had that in a coach there. And that was the first time that I really had that. And then to graduate, and had an amazing time in Wesleyan, really a lot of growth, got to know Christ a lot more, really started owning my faith. But once I left the team, and once I was done playing basketball there, and went and got married right out of college to my beautiful wife, who we dated since we were 16 years old, and then got married right after college, and had her, but I didn't have another man in my life who was kind of holding me accountable, and that kind of went away. And went back to old habits, and just looking good on the outside, and not necessarily living it all times of my life. And it just didn't really I don't know, just kind of coasting for a few years and not really growing. Wasn't really pursuing God. I still don't think I had a true, heart transformation. I was always focused on behavior modification, and I was getting pretty good at that, but it just wasn't sticking. And then it took really a few years ago, I had kind of a health concern. It wasn't super major, but it just caused me pretty extreme pain every day. And that lasted for about a year. And during that time, I just remember, it was the first time I couldn't modify my behavior. I couldn't look okay. I didn't feel okay. I couldn't fake it. I was really humbled through that experience and just being, just couldn't control it. It's something I couldn't control, and I was really humbled by that. I had a really good friend who was a teammate reach out to me, just said, "Hey, I need, I just want to talk to somebody about what's really going on. Do you want to be that guy for me? And I'll be that for you." And he reached out, and just through that and through just nothing major, it wasn't a huge trial, but just some daily pain and being humbled enough to really just own up to, the people I needed to my family, and own up to who I'd been in secret and who I needed to be day in and day out, and who I needed to be for them, not just who I needed to look like for them, but who I needed to be for them. And through that is where I really had a growth where I felt like I could truly enter the light and not be in darkness, but through the power of Christ and His Spirit changing my heart from stone to flesh, I could truly start living that out. Still not perfect, obviously, but that was a changing point in my life where I can truly say, before Christ I was this way, and after Christ I was this way. Still ups and downs, still, always, we're all always going to be sinners, but by the grace of God, we have Jesus, and He's opened the door to the Father and to access to His Spirit. And I just hope that I can be changed more and more every day to be more like Him, have the fruit of the Spirit more and more. And then really now I'm to the point where I'm just asking myself, what am I supposed to do with that? Obviously, the goal is to share it. I'm in my office right now at work. I have 2 kids, soon to be 3 kids at home, beautiful wife, beautiful family. Love my church, I'm involved there. But it just feels like next step is always like, what is God asking me to do? So now, I'm in a stage of life where I'm just trying to raise godly children in a crazy world, and be a leader in my family, and be somebody in the office who's encouraging, and somebody at church who's encouraging, and people feel like they can talk to, and wear Jesus on my chest, make sure that there's no doubt what I'm about. I'm trying to do that every day, and it's not great every day. I think it was Paul who said that he ran the race and ran it well, but the race isn't over until the day we die, and I'm just trying to live the rest of my day for Him. Again, story's not written, but that's my story to date. I really, again, appreciate Zach sharing or asking me to share. And I'll just leave you with the fact that what's changed my life has been realizing that, the Bible says, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. I was baptized recently, and I never felt worthy to be baptized, but I'm finally getting to the point where I realize that I'm not just a sinner trying to earn God's grace, but I'm a child of God, saved by grace, and that He did that despite my past, despite my sin, past, present, future. He still loves me, and I don't have to earn it. Jesus earned it for me. So I just encourage you, Jesus loves you. If you don't know Him yet, get to know Him. Nothing's gonna fulfill you. Nothing's gonna make you feel whole. Nothing's gonna make you feel complete until you meet Him. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter what you're doing right now. It doesn't matter what you will do. If you have faith in Him and faith in what He's done for you, there's going to be heart transformation, and it's not going to be about behavior modification. It's going to be about a new heart, and it's going to be a new spirit in you. And for me, it's exciting to have that. Just telling my story has kind of gotten me fired up again about that. So again, big thanks to Zach. Thanks to everybody who's listening. Have a blessed day. Thank you.